pose with Israeli counterparts. Back up the Dead Sea Highway, the country of Jordan on the far shore, to enjoy some watery recreation that every visitor to the area has to try. "16 times saltier than the ocean, the 41-mile-long Dead Sea can float Conrad Madriaga and anybody, even a poor flailing swimmer like me. I could do the Olympic triathlon in here." And there was sunrise and there was sunset on day 3. We arrive in seaside Tel Aviv at nightfall. As Jerusalem is old, Tel Aviv is new. The place was sand dunes until 1909. It's a vibrant metropolis now. Modern architecture, the National Theater Habima, foreign embassies, including that of America, which for political reasons has not recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Go-Go Tel Aviv, largely westernized, is home to supermodel Bar Refaeli, who made Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover. With strip shows and prostitutes' calling cards scattered on Hotel District sidewalks, few would describe Tel Aviv as the Holy Land, more like the Golden Calf. Tel Aviv may have stray pussycats and homeless people, but where else can an American Jew, accustomed to minority status, see streets named for Dave Frischman, Meir Dizengoff, Kaplan, King Saul, not to mention a garden honoring a guy named Morty Fingerman. By this time, I'm starting to feel seriously Jewish. Speaking of greenery, Tel Aviv has plenty of trees for me to inspect. The hunt for my personal tree takes me past Rabin Square, where the peacemaking leader was slain by a young ultra-Zionist settler in 1995. Saddam Hussein bombarded Tel Aviv with Scud missiles during the First Gulf War, and Red Star of David ambulances stand by for rockets from Hamas and Hezbollah. But Tel Avivans call their city the Bubble, ignoring political problems in favor of living the good life. And it is a good life. Above all, Tel Aviv is a beach town, Malibu on the Med. That clangy sound I heard all over the beach was matkot, paddleball, avidly played without net or wall. Just south of the beaches, the scenic 4,000-year-old port town of Jaffa. The Arabs chased out Jaffa's Jews in 1909, which led to Tel Aviv's founding, which eventually led to Tel Aviv annexing Jaffa. At sunset, we met to taxi out to dinner in Old Jaffa, its streets full of Middle Eastern character. Our seafood restaurant laid out 20 appetizers, a meal in themselves. Pausing at an eerie stone building full of flying bats, many of us walked the 2 miles home to bed. A new guide, Doron Matyash, drove us up the coast past high-tech Herzliya and Netanya to Caesarea Maritima, another development by Herod the Great, clearly the Donald Trump of his day. His aqueduct brought water 6 miles from Mount Carmel. Herod built a swimming pool, a sprawling palace, a hippodrome for chariot races and gladiator combats. And he built an outdoor theater, restored and popular today for concerts and prestigious plays. North to Haifa for a view from the astounding gardens built by the Baha'i religion at their world headquarters on Mount Carmel. The vista extends over Haifa Bay to the white stones of Rosh HaNikra, most northerly point of Israel. Beyond that, you are looking at enemy Lebanon. East along the Mount Carmel ridge to the Druze village of Dalit el Carmel. The Druze, a farming people breaking with Islam 1,000 years ago, pray to Allah in their own secret religion. After lunch, restaurant owner Fuad Khalabi explains all this in his living room.
She called me, please, my name is Fuad. What you like it? You like it to study? She sent it to you to study. If you like it, something, money. My daughter, she make it, this is the Druze shawl. This is very beautiful, my family from the Mount Carmel. Feel the material.
As Fuad hawks dishware and Druze shawls in his family's shop, I head outside and hear F-16s of the Israeli Air Force thundering north toward Lebanon for reconnaissance. Armageddon, scriptural site of the predicted decisive battle between the forces of good and evil. It's a real place, Har Megiddo, a timeless archaeological dig overlooking the strategic Jezreel Valley, Nazareth in the distance. Megiddo's lowest levels go back 4,000 years to Egyptian domination. Down and down we walk into a water tunnel engineered out of the rock 3,000 years ago. Stopping place for 2 nights, a hotel at Kibbutz Lavi in the Galilee region, a short drive from Tiberias. The gift shop, another good place to buy tchotchkes for the folks back home. Today, a cult-oriented Safed or Zafat in the upper Galilee. Doron related how in these cloudy mountains the hermit Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai wrote the Zohar in Roman days. This became the central document of the Kabbalah, placed on the New Age spiritual map by that well-known thinker Madonna. The Fed is Kabbalah land, where pomegranates are revered because their 613 seeds match the number of commandments in the Torah.
I'm gonna go see the synagogue first. Oh, yeah.
Safed synagogues date from medieval times, their shelves heavy with the writings of long-dead Kabbalistic sages.
Yes, please.
Safed also is an art colony, its galleries providing a living for Jews who came here largely for religious reasons.
San Diego, you have everything beautiful on the material level. You have the beaches and beautiful, beautiful California hills, and there's a lot of wealth there. Here, there's an inner wealth, a wealth on the mystical level, a wealth of the Jewish tradition and the tradition of the Torah. And so I find that much more, meaningful and satisfying.
An Iraqi-style pizza shared with Heather, Madeline Henson, and her son Conrad Madriaga. The Golan Heights were captured from Syria in 1967. We drive here not for war, but for wine, a pour at one of Israel's best-known wineries on the slopes of Mount Hermon. Here's a tip. The reds beat the whites. Try the Yardeni label at your local gourmet store. We gaze from the Golan into Syria, torn by bloody civil war. When the Syrians held these heights, they often fired artillery onto the Israeli farmers of Galilee. Suddenly, some loud, weird noises, not Syrian shells, but horns and screams and chants from, of all things, a busload of evangelical Christian Chinese from Beijing and Inner Mongolia. They come every year to jeer Syria and pray for a triumphant Israel.
They want to support Israel because they love Jesus, so they want to combine the messianic message with Israeli future. They love Israel.
A sudden rainbow symbolized hope, but 2 days later, mortar shells fired from Syria landed near here in the Golan Heights, now a more dangerous border area than at any time in the past 40 years. Our guide Doron was hit by another tour bus yesterday in the parking lot of an olive oil factory. He hurt his arm and can use only one hand to help with our bags. Gamely, he soldiers on. We stop at Cana for a gas station fill-up. Of course, you remember Cana as the miracle town where Jesus turned water into wine at the wedding feast. Today, Jesus would make an even bigger splash by turning water into unleaded fuel, which costs $8 a gallon in Israel. Nazareth, where the angel Gabriel made the Annunciation to Mary, and where young Jesus worked as a carpenter with Joseph. Key pilgrimage stop, the Church of the Annunciation, dedicated to St. Mary. The nearby St. Joseph's Church is over Joseph's carpentry shop. The River Jordan, these days a sluggish creek running 156 miles from Lebanon into the Sea of Galilee and on into the Dead Sea. Still, it is the hallowed Jordan, and this lake is the biblical Sea of Galilee, known in Israel as Lake Kinneret. Here Jesus walked on the waters, multiplied the loaves and the fishes, and preached the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount. The Mount of Beatitudes overlooks the lake's north end, its commemorative church built with money from Benito Mussolini. Just down the shore, Capernaum, originally Kfar Nachum, where Jesus preached for a year to Peter and other fishermen who became his apostles. Adjoining the latest church to rise above St. Peter's actual house is a 5th century synagogue. Their proximity indicates that the early Christians and the local Jews got along. Down the Jordan Valley, with the nation of Jordan on the horizon, past thriving towns, to the site of Mount Gilboa. King Saul fell here in battle with the Philistines. Every inch of Israel seemingly has a historic connotation. We stop at Beit Alpha, a national park with another 5th century synagogue preserving Byzantine mosaics. Unlike the stray cats of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, the park's kitties are well-fed and affectionate. The soccer stadium at prosperous Netanya marks our return to the world of the present, with the trip nearing an end on Baz Smith's mellow note.
From south to north, from east to west, oh, he's the best. Yeah, baby.
On a quiet final day to myself in Tel Aviv, I walk along leafy Rothschild Boulevard. Something on one particular tree catches my eye. Amazing! It is my tree, reuniting my memory with the young Israel of 60-odd years ago. And there was sunrise and there was sunset. I joined the young Tel Avivans watching the sun go down somewhere out near Gibraltar. And so it was shalom to Israel, goodbye but also hello. Hello to a new understanding of my identity, absorbed in the good company of amiable travelers. After getting back from Israel, I feel so Jewish that all I eat now is this stuff. Got my matzahs, got my challah, good stuff. And the only wine to drink, Manischewitz. Medium dry Concord grape. L'chaim.
Kinder, wir haben Simches